Hi, everybody, and welcome to Alternative Health Concepts. Today we were going to talk about, I was going to talk about HIV and the immune response to it and everything else, but something came up yesterday, and some of you, I'm sure most of you have heard by now, and that was a suicide by a very prominent handbag designer, Kate Spade. I've been reading a lot. My wife and I were talking about it yesterday, and I thought, you know what? This is an important subject. It's something that, number one, I've touched a little bit on, but not too much, probably not as much as needs be, and that is the subject of mental illness and suicide. They're kind of interlinked, obviously, and there's a lot of reasons for it, but in studying and kind of reading and listening to people, even going on Twitter and seeing some of the responses on Facebook and that people are adding to Kate Spade's suicide, the reasons why. Some people are saying they felt it was selfish. We know that she left a suicide note with her daughter that mentioned her daughter, and ask her dad, and those things are tough, but really hard, and they're gut wrenching. And a lot of us have a lot of different opinions, and I'm not going to voice my opinion here. It's just, I thought it was interesting that I saw a lot of people feel like, or mention that they feel like that it's selfish, and it very well may be at a certain level. But the thing that we need to understand is that mental illness is something that we can't understand unless we're really professionally trained to do so. What we do understand about it is that we don't know much about it. The brain's a super complicated subject, and it's one that needs a lot more attention paid to it and a lot more studies done so that we can overcome it. It's a tragedy, but at the same time, something a little different about this subject today. I'd really, really want your opinion. So if you have an opinion, or you feel one way or the other, you do feel like suicide is a selfish act, or if you feel like something different, or if you just feel sad and you want to reach out and just leave a comment to the family of her, or maybe somebody that you've dealt with or had to deal with suicide. It's tragic, it's heart-wrenching, it hurts at the very core. And then there's a whole lot of feelings about it that are simply wrong, that we can maybe feel guilty if one of our family members had that, or maybe we feel like there's something we could have done. All those things are real feelings, and I don't mean to shorten them anyway, but I really would like to see your comments. So if you have feeling one way or the other, please just go to the comment section below here on Facebook and put it in and share your thoughts with all of us, and maybe we can get a little dialogue going and help it. Well, I also put on there that if you know, or if yourself is in crisis and contemplating it or thinking about it, please call the national, what's it called? The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at the number that's listed below. Just go there and call them. There's some great help tips on there if you know somebody or have a family member or friend that may be contemplating it, in ways that you can help. So go there and check it out. I want to share with you some statistics, though, that I was shocked in just kind of really quickly looking at. Suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the United States, and that's according to the CDC. That's amazing. We talk about heart health and cancer and just staying in good immune health and getting our immune system operating properly. And we talk about these other killing diseases, but the 10th leading cause, I was shocked. And it saddened me, because mental illness is something that we all are touched by. We all have friends or family members that have had some issues with mental illness. I personally have, and it's just heart-wrenching. This is another interesting thing that I found. Suicide rates for white females increased 60% between 1999 and 2014. I don't know if you have any reason or thought to that, why that might be, but man, I found that was really, really interesting. Middle-aged women, which Kate Spade was. She was 55, I believe, or something like that. Between ages 45 and 64, had the highest suicide rate among women, both in 2014 and 99. But the fact is that that age group tends to have the highest throughout. But those two particular years in the last were the most. In 2015, there were 45,000 deaths due to suicide, according to the CDC. And that is here in the United States alone. That's not counting the rest of the world. Tragic. Again, 2016, 9.8 million people had serious thoughts of suicide. 2.8 million made a suicide plan, and 1.1 million people attempted suicide, according to the Suicide Prevention Resource Center. That means that there were one suicide death every 11.9 minutes, and there was one suicide attempt every 29 seconds. Think about that. I've been talking now for almost 6 minutes. So how many suicide attempts have that been? At least 12, just since I've been talking. People have attempted suicide. We've got to understand it. We've got to reach out. And we've got to be aware of our friends and family who may be suffering, and just reach out to them and let them know that you're there for them. A couple of things that we know about Kate Spade is that she was very, very depressed over the last few years. They were heading toward divorce, her and her husband, it looked like, which was probably even caused her to be more depressed. Again, I don't purport or have any idea why she ultimately took her own life, but it is sad to know that with all of her money, that couldn't help her. At some estimates, she was worth over $200 million. You know, a lot of us get wrapped up every day in needing more, wanting more money, and working hard, and nothing's wrong with that. But what the point is that I'm trying to make is that 200 million, all the money in the world, couldn't help her with that. You need to, number one, be willing to help yourself. And there comes the real crux of the problem. Because when you have a mental illness, you don't know that you have a mental illness. In most cases, you're in denial that you have it. And for you to reach out to somebody to get help is far and few between. That's why it's the 10th leading cause of death in the United States. So we, as friends and family members of people that may be depressed or may have mental illness, we need to reach out to those people. We need to help them. We need to let them know that we're there to help them. And if we all become more aware, if we all become more loving, if we all share with each other and care about each other, we can put a dent in this amazing statistic of suicide deaths. It's tragic, and we need to do something about it. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you. We do know that there's an immune response to mental illness. We're learning that now. I touched on it a few episodes ago, that there's a neurological tie between mental illness and the immune system. By strengthening our immune system, we can help ourselves or others get through mental illness. It's an amazing thing. There is an immune response to mental illness. We used to not think that or know that, but there definitely is. So again, what we do at Alternative Health Concepts is we go to, we sell a product called BioPro-Plus, which is an immune supplement. I challenge you to go on there, go on that, our website. It's linked right below here, right below the heading, and go there and find out all about it and understand what BioPro-Plus can do for you, do for your immune system, and how it can help you get healthy today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here today. But more importantly, please share your comments underneath, and where appropriate, we'll reply back to you and put our input in there. But I'd love to hear your input. I'd like to know what your feelings are about Kate Spade and this suicide, this tragedy that has happened. But more importantly, I want to get the awareness out there that mental illness and suicide needs to be destigmatized. We need to look at it just like we look at cancer, just look like we look at HIV or any chronic illness. It can be fixed and it can be overcome. Thank you for being here. We'll see you next week for another episode of Wellness Wednesday at Alternative Health Concepts. Thanks for being here. Talk to you soon.